I ended up on YouTube. I ended up on TV tropes on accident.
That's right, I forgot.
How's that happen?
You
You don't want
accidentally
to
end up
know.
in a video for a game, and then it just kind of gets famous. Shit gets weird in the 70s, man.
There are some questions you just don't want the answer to.
I mean, isn't that kind of the point of Warlocks?
Special move, kneel, grovel, and beg.
And there's
I
no
don't know,
cooldown on it, is there?
I've done some stuff with my Warlock that the other players just
I
weren't
don't
really
think
cool
so.
with.
I'm not going to sacrifice anybody, but I might push you over if you're sitting on a book.
So I will add before we start, there is one section of this mod I literally cannot come up with any way to do in Fantasy Grounds because it's a tangram, which is to say it's one of those little things where you take colored blocks and put them together to make a picture.
Oh, nice.
Oh, those are annoying when you got to turn them into individual pictures and try to fit them.
There's no way to do it in Fantasy Grounds. There's none.
You can't cut them out in paint and turn them into tokens. That takes a lot of effort, though.
Did you have to come up with an idea after we had already started the game?
No, I had this happen before with the things of Azimuth and all the other stuff from Beneath the Fetid.
No, that's fair
Fetid
enough. Honestly, thank you. You just saved me a lot of trouble. Well, you've caused me a lot of trouble next week, but you've made it possible for me to do a mod I couldn't figure out a way to do. But that aside, my brain has just went sideways. For the purposes of this mod, I'm going to use my DM empowerment to try and come up with a replacement. So we'll get to that when we get there. But I'm just putting it up front that because of the medium we're playing in my considered judgment, it's not effectively possible to run the module as written in that specific regard.
I've seen it done, but don't ask me how, because it's been a little while.
I trust
How
your
was it
judgment.
done?
They used the pictures and shapes out of the mod and posted them as like individual pictures. Like I said, I don't remember. It's been a couple of months. I did it at a convention. It was an online convention when we were done it at.
We might have played in the same one then, because I recall that exact same thing. We turned them into tokens and put them on a screen, and then we could sit here and manipulate the tokens.
Yeah, we did it on the party
party
order screen.
Yep, that's the one.
So, anywho, you guys easily find the Golden Tankard. Ragnar Redtooth. Actually, wait a minute, I forgot. We need to go through the hook. So, is anyone here not already in the village of Parnast?
Cass has done every 1 to 4 module up to this chronologically.
So, to be clear, I'm asking, is anyone not in Parnast?
I guess this is my first game with this character, so technically Ithica wouldn't be.
I guess that's
so
a double.
Ithica wakes up one morning and finds a scroll sitting beside him with a fine... it's a fine scroll made out of fine paper and sealed with a crane sigil. Inside, you find a map and an offer of employment in the city of Parnast.
Ithica like this.
And it says you should head to the tavern and await further instructions.
Off I go.
Yeah, same goes for Randall. While I've been in Parnast before, the last mod was Cloaks and Daggers.
So the way Adventure League works is time is funny. You've just been jumping around in your character's personal history, and he was stronger at some point in his past than he was when he was in the later mods, because time is funky. Don't think too hard about it. Just don't.
I'm
Those
not.
damn wizards always messing with time.
But the fact that you've done other mods for the purposes of continuity, you didn't leave to go back to Mole Matcher. That was just some of your personal history.
Yeah,
So-
I did 1, then 3, then 2. So I saw the statue and then I went and delivered it.
Yeah, there are things you just don't think too hard on. So the rest of you who are already in Parnest, well, actually, it's pretty much the same. You wake up, there's a scroll sealed with the sigil of a crane, and you're told to head to the tavern. The big difference is this happens to you on Adventure Day instead of like a week before.
All right, Caden, we'll grab the scroll and head back to Ragnar and Redtooth. I'm assuming that's where we're going. That's where it came from.
So all of you easily find the golden tankard. Ragnar Redtooth, the dark-haired, burly bar owner, immediately recognizes you and gestures for you to wait in a corner as he brings out some snacks for you, as you guys file in one by one. Cass, why don't you introduce yourself to the empty table?
Cass is a wood elf dressed in orange and red robes, spiritualist by nature, and prefers to use the martial arts. Comes from a family of druids, but never was inclined to the arts, and instead chose the monk way of punching things in the face.
So Ithiika gets to walk in next.
Ithiika is a nervous-looking blue kobold wearing a hooded robe and moving nervously around the inn, keeping an eye on everything. I'm a rogue.
One moment, someone just pointed out that I was missing stuff.
Getting feedback from
Please.
the audience, huh?
Please check that you are in both the party sheet and combat tracker, because at least one person is missing. I just can't
That's
figure out
probably
who.
me. Which one is the combat tracker?
Cass is not in the combat tracker, but is in the party sheet.
Thank you.
Ithiika is in both.
So if you go to the upper right-hand corner of the screen, you should see a button with a crossed sword and another one with an eye and some person silhouettes. Those are the combat tracker and party sheet, respectively.
Ah, awesome. Got them both open
The
now.
party
Sorry,
sheet
get the
lets you
character
get an at-a-glance eyeball over the status of the party, who's in it. Like the fact that our spellcasters, we've got a fair mix here. Warlock, monk, rogue, paladin, rogue, sorcerer, rogue. Oh no, fighter, not a rogue. But we've got a decent mix here. We're a little bit light on divine casters, but hey, a paladin's like a divine caster, isn't he?
Well,
He
that's
heals
assuming
you
I
through
don't
your
save it all for
face.
smites.
Hence why I said they're like a divine caster. So I think Baron is due to arrive next.
Alright, well, in this instance, Baron is somewhat of a typical dwarf in the sense of beard and scruffy and just kind of stumbling around with something that looks like a flask in his left hand and a scrap of notebooks in his right hand. Just kind of nervously sits down at the table and starts drinking quietly.
Caden.
Caden Silvervein, the youngest of the 4 Silvervein brothers from Flawn. Exiled from Flawn when Vorgan sharks came in and destroyed the entire town. Since then, I've been traveling up and down the coast, doing what I can for the Vilsvarian people, and now for the people of the Sword Coast. And I sit down and abstain from alcohol and have water.
Randall Greycastle.
Yeah, Randall is a very slightly built human. He is dressed in kind of garish purple clothes with a massive head with a large feather in it. He's carrying 2 rapiers at his side. And as he sits down, he promptly orders a pitcher of wine for the table.
So Ragnar brings out the pitcher of wine requested and sets it down with a couple of goblets as Reinar walks in.
Hi there, I'm Reinar. Reinar is a teenager, fairly young kid. Grew up on the streets of Waterdeep and has discovered that sometimes he can do things just by thinking about them. And sometimes things happen even if he doesn't think about them, and he's still sort of trying to come to grips with that and trying to learn to control the magic, which isn't always do what he wants.
And I believe that leaves Sliznar.
Lisnar, devout follower of Kellenvor, wandered away from my native homelands because he's not very well received there. They prefer the darker gods and have been finding employment and gainful purpose in the more human lands.
All right, I do believe that means we have everyone here. So Ragnar just smiles and says, "This way, please, this way." He leads you to a back private room, and you see that seated at the table in the room is a dusky, half-elven Rashimi man. He smooths his neat mustache before gesturing to a dozing gold pseudo-dragon, curled tidily around his neck. "They have arrived to sing, 'Wake up! Wake up!'" the man says, shrugging his shoulders to jostle the sleeping creature. "For those of you who have not met me, I am Azam, and this is my patron, Hsing. Thank you for coming. This mission is of the utmost importance. Some of you may have heard of the Etten, Grom. The Etten's hobgoblin minions have been causing no end of problems for travelers on the Black Road. We have received word that Bad Fool, a particularly worrisome hill giant, plans to cow Grom into submission. This cannot happen. Perhaps you are familiar with the phrase, 'The enemy of my enemy is also my friend'?"
I've heard that expression several times before.
Go on.
Vaguely familiar with it.
Very
Idika
well.
likes friends.
Sorry for the momentary distraction. I just noticed we had someone else connect. Doesn't look like he made a character yet or joined chat.
Wait, what?
We're already this far in.
And it's one thing to start late because the DM was running late. It's another thing to show up 20 minutes after the mod started. And it's another thing to ignore the DM typing out that the table is full and just go create a character.
Well, I'm seasoned now.
Too bad too, because that was our cleric.
Probably.
Psh, healers in tier 1.
We don't need a cleric. Get
Yeah,
out of
it's true.
here. No, we
Actually,
die
you
on
probably
artist
couldn't
and not
see my
die.
message until after he'd already clicked new, because it has that pop-up screen when you first join.
Yeah.
So, sorry about that. I lost track of where we were. Yes. So, Grom's realm is in the Lonely Moor. It's a 10-day away through the Forgotten Forest. However, the situation is incredibly urgent. We don't know when Bad Fool will be making his move. The forest is known for a high population of fey creatures. Many, not all, have become hostile towards us, probably because of the food shortage in the region. Grolm's forces. Wow, this is just in no logical order. Grolm's forces consist mostly of goblins and hobgoblins, and it's rumored that he's been hunting down many of the local fairy creatures. And not just because of the food shortage here, some kind of bad blood. Anyways, I have a 100 gold piece reward and 2 scrolls for you. One is just an agreement of non-aggression. The other one actually binds Grolm to an alliance. It's a vow that he will challenge Bad Fool to single combat. Bring me one of these scrolls with Grolm's mark upon it, and the reward is yours.
Seems reasonable enough.
Nature check. Party-wide nature check. Caden, Reinar, and Randall all know that Fey crossings may be present in the Forgotten Forest, making the journey unpredictable. You will have advantage on any checks related to the Fey crossings in the next part.
Cool.
Fun.
Do any of you have the Defenders of Parnas Story Award?
Yes.
Cast
Yes.
Yes. Rhino does.
Do any of you have the Glory Before Goodwill Story Award? Oh, good. So, he gives you a couple of supplies for the road in the form of a potion of healing and a potion of greater healing.
These will keep
I
us
assume that's
alive, thankfully.
for the party, not each.
That is for the party.
Caden will look at the rest of the party and say, who's the most combat trained and who's the least combat trained?
Cass is probably one of the higher combat trained people and has no potions, if that helps.
Baron's not exactly the type to put himself on the front lines. A little bit nervous about that kind of stuff.
Oh, and something I should have asked earlier. Something someone said earlier. Are any of you brand new players? Not necessarily new characters, but new players?
I mean, the 5th edition, yes, but I played a lot of 3.5 and other stuff.
Have
in
you
the free
played
time.
Adventure League before?
No, first time.
You get a bonus potion of healing.
Neat. Thank you.
Ooh.
I
And
think
then
it's
the
not
DM
a
Party
the DM
award
gets
that
something
goes
cool too.
straight to you as a result of a DM quest.
Yep.
So I will let you guys decide how you want to divide up the other 2 potions.
Cass would like one, but if the party see otherwise, will not object.
No, it makes
I'm
sense.
already carrying a few potions, so I'm good for now. I'm probably going to be on the front line anyway. I tend to carry my own.
Yeah, I'd say just give them to fighters, really.
Fighters and the monk, the frontline people.
The meteor folks.
I'm hoping to stay well behind everybody else and
Oh, and when we have a chance, I would presume when we're sitting around the table, I'll start telling tales and stories about the party nature of the Hillsfarian people and how they overcame slavers. And I will give everyone my inspiring leader.
So if no one's going to say otherwise, I guess I'll take Cass will take the potion of. Was there a greater healing? Was that it?
One
it was
moment.
a potion of healing and a potion of greater healing.
If anyone objects, then Cass does not mind.
I'd say take it.
So you guys head out into the Forgotten Forest. The weather on your journey through the Forgotten Forest has transitioned from slightly overcast to a light drizzle, and then into a raging thunderstorm. Around midday, the storm abruptly stops, the clouds break, and the blinding sun emerges, making it almost as hot as the desert of Anarok. Several snarling goblins emerge on the road before you, led by a hobgoblin wielding a gleaming greatsword. Moom! The leader screeches as they move to attack. Roll initiative. And they literally have roll initiative in the block text. How funny.
Ha!
Alright, I'm looking for it, sorry.
And I just realized I forgot to do something very important. Let's find out if you are an average party or a very strong party. You're an average party. This adventure is optimized for a party of 5 4th level characters.
Oh boy.
Oh,
That's not good.
What's wrong? It's just a couple of goblins and a hobgoblin, and
We got some 4s and 3s and a couple of 1s.
But the 2
We can
1s
take
and the
'em.
2 3s together become 2 4s.
by
By their
our
powers
powers
combined.
combined.
There you go.
We both went there.
My group on Thursday was joking about using the grappling rules to literally have characters form a Voltron.
Nice.
That would be amazing. I kind of want to form a mini campaign specifically around that idea.
I mean, gnomes or kobolds, pick one.
Thundercats.
Oh.
I think it would probably involve shield guardians or clockwork mules.
one moment.
Oddly enough, I don't have a character with a shield guardian, but I do have one with a clockwork mule.
So, Sliznar, you have a horde of 4 goblins, followed by a hobgoblin, with a 5th goblin with a long, pointy hat standing way in the back. What do
Never
you do?
trust pointy
Okay.
hats.
They're charging to attack.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Well, guess we don't have a map. I will charge forth and attack the nearest one.
Well, that'd definitely be one of the goblins.
Alright, so I'll just target one of them. Think. Yeah, it's not letting me target one of them in the thing there.
Hold down control and click on them in the combat tracker. It would seem to work for me.
Yeah, that's what. Okay,
There you go.
There it goes.
Yeah.
I was doing that and it wasn't working. That's not gonna work. Apparently, a swing and a miss.
Well, true to type, Ithy-Ika screams and hides off the side of the road in the bushes. And that's my turn.
So Goblin 4 takes great offense at Sliznar's attack. And charges up and tries to whack at him. Sliznar apparently is feeling his oats today and just kind of brushes the attack aside. So the goblin stumbles back out of melee range using his nimble escape. Reinar.
Can I get a clear shot on the pointy hat guy with my crossbow?
Sure.
Okay, I will do so, and I will use Tides of Chaos to give myself advantage. Nice.
Well,
Well
fudge.
done.
There goes your pixie ally. So as you hit, you hear him scream out, "Damn you, Thornacious! What?"
Oops.
Well, that's a name I recognise.
Yeah.
And he was about to cast Sleep on all the goblins for you.
That's unfortunate.
So Goblin 1 will take a whack at Sliznar and nimble escape backwards. Baron.
Alright, 1 second. I'm just trying to figure out how to do the action after I move.
So I'm assuming you walk up into melee range?
Oh no, in this case, Baron Halfthunder is going to scramble off to the side of the road, tripping the entire time, and try to fire off an Eldritch Blast at just whatever goblin is closest.
Okay, it looks like you never loaded your spells.
That would do it then. Yeah, let me just grab that real fast. Sorry about that.
You said you wanted Eldritch Blast. It's now on your sheet.
Okay, thank you.
You know the procedure for loading the rest of them?
Roughly, yeah.
So I'll let you go ahead and do that, but for now, go ahead and take your turn.
Okay, so that would be through my actions then? Excellent. So again, Baron Halfthunder is scrambling off the side of the road trying to find cover while just firing off a random blast.
And you're targeting...
Just whatever goblin is closest to me.
And it's a miss.
Baron curses his luck.
So if you go to the combat tracker, at the bottom there's a little dragon's head with a down arrow. Click that. Thank you.
Sorry about that. Clicked the wrong dragon.
It's perfectly alright.
How much distance to the goblins?
They're dancing in and out of melee with the party. So the question is, how far away from them do you want to be?
Well, I want to close into melee, but
Then you
still have the
close into
option
melee.
of disengaging at the end of my action.
Alright.
So I whip out both my rapiers. Have at you, you villains!
So I take it you have the dual wielding feat?
Yes. What self-respecting swashbuckler wouldn't?
I know one or two.
So I move up to Goblin 4. And I try to stick him with a pointy end. And since I'm a swashbuckler, I get my sneak attack.
That is about to be one dead goblin.
Yep,
Jeez.
stabbed in the face.
And you
And
don't even
then
need
I
to disengage.
Yeah, and I step back behind Slisner.
Cass.
Cass advances on Goblin 1 and attacks with the quarterstaff. And then follows that up with a martial arts strike. Well, that was ineffective.
For Grom. Attack! Attack, I say! And Goblin 2.
I believe, not to give myself up, but I believe that's the one I was attacking. Cass.
Alright. So sorry, Cass. But I do believe you just got hit. I forgot. Someone had Inspiring Leader.
Paladin?
So
What?
the goblin just... The
Oh,
goblin,
that's where that came from.
the
Yes, that's
goblin,
where we all have
feeling
the hit
his
points.
oats, as Mulm gives him the order to step forward and attack, tries to stab at Cass, but Cass just doesn't have any of it and deflects it without a second glance. Caden.
Raise my long sword to the heavens and say, "Helm bless all of us." And I will give bless to Silmar, Rhinar, and myself.
Ooh.
And then I will move within melee of Malm. I'll be like, "Have at thee."
And if anyone understands Goblin, Goblin number 3 goes, "Ooh, Spellcaster! Got him!" Or not. Sliznar.
Okay. Well, don't think I want to let the Paladin have all the fun. But let's see if we can't do something about these goblins first. So I'll charge up at Goblin number 1 and take a swing at him with my battle axe to see if I fare any better. Nope.
Wow, we are not doing well.
Nah.
Good work.
Have we hit any yet?
Yes,
You
I
killed two
killed,
of them.
Yeah.
and one of them turned out to be an
Randall
ally.
killed one, and
Oops.
Even Ithiaka couldn't do it.
I mean, Ithiaka was screaming into the bushes.
This is true. I am going to target the leader and try to shoot my crossbow at him. Okay. That was
Less
not
work
helpful.
as hard as possible.
Yeah.
Tier 1, TPK, TPK.
I think we're pretty far off from that. Thank you very much.
Spellcaster! Get him! Charge! And the goblin zeroes in on Caden. Hold. As the Malm gives out a bark, higher! And the goblin adjusts his aim point. Does a 19 hit Caden?
No, it does not. 20.
How do you have a 20?
Defense fighting style.
Okay.
Yep.
Defense fighting style and splint mail.
And a shield.
Well, yeah, and a shield, of course. Baron.
Baron sticks his head above the bush to hopefully just take a quick pot shot before ducking back into cover. And let me see here. It's control left click, yeah?
Yeah, if you're wanting to target something, it's control left click, or in this case, what you can do is just drag your attack die onto him in the combat tracker.
Oh, okay. So,
But then you have
hopefully
to
this
drag the
works.
damage die as well.
I did not know that.
That works, but okay. Missed. Cursing my luck continues.
Randall.
Since Listener doesn't seem to need my help, and Caden seems to be their favorite target, I move over to Caden and take aim at Goblin 1 because he's the last one that attacked him.
And you do what?
And I go all out with my attack, crossing my swords. And missing with my elaborate maneuver.
Just a
Maybe
wonderful
Maybe we
day
just
today.
recruit this goblin.
Cass will attempt to kill Goblin 2 again. Oh my god, I'm going to spend a key point to make 2 martial arts kicks following that. Oh, a hit, finally. And then the second kick.
You know, it's a good thing that the leadership doesn't actually let the Hobgoblin increase their AC, or you would be so happy with me right now.
Well, I think that was key well spent to finally kill that goblin.
Yes.
Yes.
Punched him to death, right and proper.
Kicks, kicks.
Oh, fine. Kick to
You
the
no
neck
kill
then.
my men, I kill my men!
Ha!
Not with rolls like that. Caden.
Alright. I'm gonna look at Malm and be like, you do not hurt my allies. Helm will hurt you back. And it's my season. Take that.
Doc! Greg not want die! Greg, jump for cover! Bonus action disengage, walks away, and tries to hide in the underbrush. Does anyone have a 23 passive perception?
Oh no.
Nice.
I left it in my other pants.
Sliznar.
Alright, Goblin 1, starting to irritate me. I'm going to try and swing at him and see if I can cleave his skull. Ah! Well, that's not a skull cleaver, but it's a headache.
Thieka.
Okay. Yep, I'm going to try and attack Mome.
Don't forget to unclick Goblin 1.
Oh, good call. Hey, there we go.
Why do you still have advantage?
Pack tactics.
Ah. Kobolds. Don't you just
Yep.
hate them?
Unless you are one.
Forgot to do that. Could just roll
Click and
damage.
drag
Oh, well.
it onto him. Click and
Yeah,
drag it onto Mo.
That's that'll be 12 damage.
12 damage.
Yep.
Goblin number 1.
No, to Mome.
Oh,
Didn't he get into cover?
not Goblin
No,
number
that
1.
was-
No,
Okay.
he's fighting Caden.
Mome is the greatsword guy.
Ah, right. Sorry.
So, Reinar.
I'm gonna go ahead and go for a Mome again. There we go.
Am I the only one that wants to call him Mom instead of Mole?
Mome.
I almost did it.
Mome rhymes with Ohm. I don't know.
You know, except for the fact that I just don't. That's probably a better pronunciation, but I just don't see there being a lot of terror in a bunch of goblins and hobgoblins shouting, "Mom!"
Actually, I would find that very terrifying.
Especially if he starts calling us all by our full names.
Okay, now I know. Now I know.
Randall Greatcastle, get over here and explain yourself.
So, just so you guys know, my Tuesday night campaign, which is homebrew, now hates you all with an undying passion. I mean, they're just going to loathe you to death. I mean, they just left Granny's, where one of their characters got to exchange their heart for that of the hag.
Ooh. That sounds like a dangerous bargain.
Yes, well, another character worships a great white dragon who gave him some dragon claws for his kobold. Another character is an Infernal Pact warlock who is figuring out that the big bad of the campaign is their patron.
Oh, we have a warlock like that in our campaign.
It's a very dark campaign. We started out with cursed items, and it's gone downhill from there. My favorite was giving the Paladin of Vorpal Sword, and everything he killed from it came back as a Revenant. Oh, and you can upgrade an attack to a crit, but the Revenant comes back immediately.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's been a fun campaign, and now they're going to hate you all. So, back to the game. The Goblin's like, "Ack!" Oh, I can't believe I'm about... those of you who speak Goblin recognize a word that is a not particularly polite word for copulation, followed by Mom. And Mom is going to go ahead and give him a D4 because he didn't quite... So, does anyone have a passive perception of 16 or better?
No.
I'll die.
So,
I'm
Mom is like,
15.
"Further to the left, you more..." Wait, what did you just say? What did you just say to me, Joshua Stewart Lethbridge III?
He just beat out the monk, recognizing him hiding.
Baron's
Baron.
going to take just another pot shot at the goblin, just trying to get rid of this bastard before it causes any other problems.
You mean the goblin you can't see anymore?
Oh, bugger. I guess that means I really don't have an option at this point other than to try and cast Hex on Mom. Let me do that real quick.
So, go ahead. You've cast Hex on him,
Alright, excellent.
and that
then
is
duck
not
back
how
into
you
cover.
want to use that particular effect.
Oh, alright. How would
That-
I do then?
That particular effect will increase his next damage roll by 1d6 necrotic. You apply it to yourself after you hit your hexed target. So you're just going to have to remember that you have him hexed and go ahead and give him an attack roll.
Alright. Just generic attack roll?
An Eldritch Blast attack roll.
Alright.
Or not.
DM. That character I just loaded, if you look on his character sheet, he has a hex with all the effects on it. You can drag it from that sheet onto his, and he'll have all the effects for the hex. And that way, when he can apply one of the effects to the target, and then the first effect to himself, and it'll automatically take effect whenever he hits his target and does damage.
Yeah, I see it. Okay. So I'm moving some stuff over to your sheet, Baron. You're going to want to change the name from Mordecai to Baron. But this is actually a better version than the one in the player's handbook.
Oh, alright, thanks.
And I'm going to need to remember that whole effect dump idea, because I have to do Paladin Smite so often they get annoying. Randall.
Yeah, when
Sorry about that.
Caden went and attacked Mom, I shadowed him, and I stepped out of his shadow. And tried to hit Mom in his armpit, where he isn't armored.
Mommy.
And it worked.
And at this point, the goblins just run away. They ain't stupid.
What? We were just getting started.
I yell after the goblins, "Thievery doesn't pay!"
So you notice that Mom's greatsword is very well made and is actually emblazoned with the symbol of Annam the Allfather. And the Goblin spellcaster has a silvered double helix chain that's probably worth a fair chunk of change, so you guys pocket those.
Of course.
So after you have gathered yourselves from the combat, a nearby tree flickers and glows more brightly than the others with an iridescent blue flame. It almost beckons you to approach, as if it knows that you need to travel quickly somewhere. An outline shaped like a door lights up. Could this be an entrance to the Feywild? Time is short. A shortcut
That
could make the
looks
journey
interesting.
shorter.
I say we go.
Not exactly
I was
keen to
actually going to ask, do we have a chance to do anything about the guy that screamed out, "Curse you, Thornacious"? I mean, can we
He's
stabilize
dead.
him or
You've
anything?
looted him.
Okay.
I mean, he was a sprite. He had 1 hit point. Any damage you guys do don't
Oops.
just outright slays him.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I'll apologize to the body and reclaim my crossbow bolts.
You notice that the fingers on his hands start to curl up as if decay was setting in, all except the middle fingers. And the same decay twists his arms around and causes them to kind of hop and jump until his middle fingers are pointing at you.
That
Caden
is
will look at the
quite
rest of the
some
party
decay.
at the side of the door and say, "Well, it seems that the force beckons us to move forward. Shall we?"
Let's.
High adventure
go.
awaits! And
I
I
hope
jump
it
through the door.
doesn't kill us all.
So the door is there. It seems to be wanting to let you through, but it's not open.
Caden will open it without checking for traps or anything else.
There's no way to open it. Give me a nature check. Advantage if you're one of the ones who passed earlier. So the spell, the thing basically needs a bit of fuel. You could spend a key point, a channel divinity, or a spell slot.
I'll spend a key point. It's easy to recover.
There's also a possibility of doing it via an arcana, or religion check.
Oh, I got Arcana.
I'll make religion. And it's against the Feywild, so I get advantage on that, right?
Magical.
So you try and say a little ritual to summon up the power of the door. Slow down, everyone. Slow down. Stop.
You want to check?
Pardon my
So
enthusiasm.
Baron tries to say an arcane chant, and he gets it wrong. He calls out to the god of cold instead of the god of heat, and the god of cold apparently is not impressed, or should I say the god of heat's not impressed. So does a 13 hit you, Baron?
Yes.
Flame lashes out from the door for 2 points of fire damage.
Cursing and trying to pat out the flames then.
Now, would anyone else care to make that check?
Caden was making that check with religion.
Okay, so you're able to say the prayer properly, emphasizing den, or no, I need a different name now. Emphasizing Gordon instead of Gordain, because Gordon is fire, Gordain is ice. Really big insult to get their names reversed. And the door opens. The blue flames in the doorway swirl like a distant galaxy. A friendly, toothy maw coalesces, and yips enthusiastically before abruptly disappearing. Stepping through the gate, you almost lose whatever is left of your midday meal, are in a cold, 15-foot square room with walls made of blue marble and floors made of plush velvet cushion. You hear disembodied giggles, snickers, and low guffaws. A small dog with a vibrantly colored mane appears before you and yelps excitedly in your head. Travelers! Travelers! Yip, yip, yip! I knew you would come! Yip, yip, yip! I know! I have been so bored, but in order to let you through first we play... Word game, word game, word game, word game, word game! I'm learning lots of new words now. Tell me what you seek at this very moment.
Slow down, dog. Slow down, thing.
Yip, 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 yip.
Whatever you are.
For those, just to give you guys an image, think something like a Chihuahua, but slightly bigger and colored a bright blue, and with all the yippiness and all the jumpiness of the breed at its worst. So this dog is just doing circle 8s through your legs.
Why, that's adorable.
And then it'll jump up and bounce off of one of your chests and then use that as a leaping platform to land on someone else's shoulder, give them a nice lick, and then jump on to the next guy. Yep, yep, yep. Tell me what you seek. Tell me what you seek at this very moment.
We seek to get to the Lonely Moor. And I look back to the rest of the party. What was the name of the
Yes, yes, yes. I know where you seek, but tell me what you seek.
Passage to the Lonely Moor?
Yes, yes, passage! That's the word! Now for the real fun! He bites at the air and a rainbow of and this is the part I'm having to rewrite.
Okay.
So, yep. You figured out my first riddle. Now, 3 more! 3 more riddles and off you go.
I'm not good at riddles.
Yep. I have a box with no hinges, key, nor lid. Yet inside, a golden treasure is hid.
Is your box an egg?
Yep. You heard that one before.
I have.
Aw! That's no fun.
Sorry, we like to pass around riddles on the streets when I grew
Oceans
up,
with no
some way
water.
to pass the time.
Oceans with no water. Beaches without sand. Villages without people. What am I?
Is in villages.
People?
Yes. Villages with no people.
No, I was saying I've heard of oceans of people.
No. Oceans without water. And beaches without sand. And villages without people. Cities without houses.
America's beverage companies have come together.
Forests with no trees. What am I?
Oh, a map.
Yes.
Oh.
Well done.
A map.
And Randall tries to do a little somersault because he's so happy.
Good show, Mr. Randall.
I'm gonna need to update.
And good
my
somersault
notes.
too.
Yes. Now comes to my last riddle. When my first is a task to a young girl of spirit, and my second confines her to finish the piece, how hard is her fate, but how great is her merit, if by taking my whole she effects her release.
Can you put that in the chat, please?
A child?
I was thinking a puzzle, but that seems kind of redundant.
Yes. My first is a task to a young girl of spirit. Yep. My second confines her, makes her finish, doesn't let her go.
So this first half.
I'm so bad at riddles.
Ask the
Is
second
it childbirth?
is a jail or a lock or
Oh, okay. It must be some kind of compound word.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
2 parts?
Yeah, the first part means some sort of a chore. Second part is a jail or a lock or something along those
So,
lines.
At the
Combined,
word
it
lock,
makes
the dog jumps up and starts licking your face before bouncing off.
okay.
Lock it?
Now, lock is the
Is
second
she
half
a
of the compound
key?
word.
So, second is him. The first.
What? What did you just say, Tiawaz?
Is it a key?
First is a task to a young girl of spirit. How is a key a task?
Embroidery, lock.
You just got it, didn't
Hemlock.
you? Say it again for the party.
Hemlock.
Yeah.
Poison to release herself.
Oh, you guessed all, but I'm not gonna get any pets. Oh.
You could
Better
always
dog.
ask for pets instead of giving us a puzzle.
Well, I'm not allowed to ask for pets. And besides, you wouldn't have given me my bones if I'd asked. He looks at your legs and licks his lips.
No.
Yeah, we're not
Yeah,
gonna give you
split
those
that
bones,
down.
but we can pet you.
So,
But a good little guy like you shouldn't put up such dark riddles.
What's dark about it?
You know, we did
Don't
leave
tell
some
your
dead
mother.
goblins right there
Dad,
on the other
it's
side of the gate.
Allstate. And with claim rate guard, they won't raise your rates just because of a claim.
One
Nature will
moment.
find a way.
I've got
I know.
a advertisement that just decided to take over my chat channel for a minute. Apparently, I somehow picked up a pop-up window and it decided to go to a video ad. And suddenly, you guys were talking about Allstate.
This is your punishment for riddles.
Are you in good hands?
So, anyways, the dog just kind of circles around place a couple of times, bounces up, jumps off one of the walls, and suddenly there's an open door there.
Hooray.
See you again soon. Yep. And
Bye,
he
big
gives
dog.
Tiawaz. He jumps up and gives Tiawaz a very thorough face bath.
I fondly ruffle the fur on his head.
Oh, yes, that's so good. Behind the ear.
What?
I scratch him behind the ear.
Oh, yes. Oh, that
Thanks
feels so
for the law.
good. You can do that anytime. Yes. You have until never to stop. Oh. And
Unfortunately, I have to leave now. But my granny always used to say, you meet everyone twice.
I mean, just imagine the most blissed out dog you have ever seen, and then imagine if it could speak. That just a continuous stream of that for as long as Tiawa's pets. So I hope you guys enjoyed what I substitute for the tangram.
Oh, it worked, yeah.
That
Yep.
was great. I didn't get much of it, but that was great.
Yeah, that works.
At least we weren't stuck for very long.
For a minute, I thought that hemlock riddle was going to be too hard.
That was definitely the toughest, yes.
So where do we get dumped out at?
You get dumped out right in front of, right in front of a tree on a hill overlooking, looks like a goblin army.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I mean, Grom's army is a force to be reckoned with. Your best guess is that his encampment can be heard from at least a mile away. Bonfires billow to the sky. Tents, huts, and various ramshackle buildings blend into one another. As a sea of humanoids busy about, countless guards patrol the outskirts of the camp. How best to approach?
Are they aware we have business here? Have they looked to the rest of the people in our group? Like, did they ever mention that?
It might be an instance of we're supposed to find a way for ourselves, or simply ask politely. I'm not sure which we should prefer.
Well, I mean, we are here to parley with them. So I would argue that going in openly and just trying to talk to them probably would be the best course of action, because anything else could be misconstrued.
Yeah.
I agree.
Is that the right word?
Yeah,
That's
what was the
probably
leader's
right,
name?
yeah.
You're looking
Who's
for the
who's-
Etten Grom.
Rome. And we got 2 charisma-based people.
Yep.
Oh,
Out of the
all
social.
We shall ask politely then, and be prepared for possibly inevitable backstabbing.
So
well, if it comes,
you guys are
if it
just
comes
going
to a
approach
fight,
the
we're probably not going to do very well.
So you guys are going to
No,
approach
we
the camp
don't.
openly?
Does anybody need to
Yes.
heal or anything before we start, like a short rest, or?
I think
we
the
all
only
okay?
damage we took was off of our temp hit points. I don't think anybody actually took any permanent damage in that fight.
Okay.
Well, if we short rested, I could inspire Sliznar and myself and Cass again. It's up to you guys. I'm confident.
I mean, if there's opportunity for it, we may as well take it.
A short breather before going in, then?
I'll get my key back, but that's the only thing. So It's up to. I don't mind.
Okay.
You do get your key back on a short rest.
I say we do it. There's no downside, right?
Just can't be
apparently
too
not.
sneaky about it.
Okay, you guys take a short rest. Right outside the goblin camp.
Well, a little farther back, right?
Well, we're already pretty much right outside the camp, I think. So
Ithy-Ika hides while they're resting.
So their guards do not manage to find you.
All right, and I will, at the end of the short rest, assuming everything goes well, I'll take the 10 minutes to tell everyone about the Black Road and how the caravan drivers were very brave throughout the face of all those hobgoblin dangers that we had to come across, and how they triumphed.
Temporary hit points for everyone!
Also, can you take Bless off of myself and the other two?
yeah, do a short rest on the party to clear out stats before we do the 10 hit points.
Well, the thing is, the temp hit points don't go away.
Oh, okay.
There's actually no real expiration on them, but we always say by long rest. If you do a long rest, that'll wipe it clean, but if you short rest,
Yes.
you usually stays.
So anyway, you guys approach openly.
Yes.
So as you approach, you see a bunch of goblins. Their heads just pop up. They notice you. They grab horns off their belts and start blowing and running away. And as you continue to approach, you can see 10 or 20 goblins form up in front of you with a hobgoblin leading them. Halt! Who go there?
Hail the king! We are emissaries from Parnast. We are
Emma
here to
what?
parley.
What's an Emma? And why do you Sari?
We are here to ask for help.
Why we help you?
So that we don't have to fight and kill each other, hopefully.
We
The
have a deal for your
hobgoblin
leader,
draws
Brawl.
his sword and starts sharpening it. Still waiting to hear bad
I'll
side
pull
of
out-
the equation.
Okay, Caden will pull out the contracts and say we have a deal on behalf of the town of Parnast to establish some kind of relation between them and your leader Grawl. And this is the
Grom?
treaty.
You wish to speak Grom?
That is correct.
Yes.
Give me a charisma check.
Persuasion or
Persuasion.
do I have assistance from anybody, or is it just a mono check?
At this
I'll
point, I'm
try to
assuming
help
the
best
entire
as I
party is
can.
acting, so yes, you have assistance. We let Grom deal with you,
Hopefully,
but
and it-
you leave weapons with us.
Cass has no problem with this because Cass does not need weapons to kick things' asses.
With emphasis on the kick, obviously.
I can smite off
Emphasis on the
punches.
kick.
You can take it. Don't take my booze.
Take your booze after you dead.
It's
is why
only
we
a
want
fair
to
trade that we
fight.
trust you in order for you to trust us. So Caden will hand over his sword and his dagger.
The orc actually, the hobgoblin actually seems to treat them with a certain degree of, not necessarily reverence, but he takes them with a degree of respect.
I will nod at him in respect in return.
You get the feeling that however little respect he has for you, he has a great deal of respect for what you might term the rules. So you guys are divested of any obvious weapons, though I'm sure that Cass can pull off the walking stick routine if she wants.
No. Cass is okay with feet and fists.
And you are led off under the glaring and suspicious eye of many a goblin and a hobgoblin. Was that No, there's no way they could have had a hill giant sleeping under that tent. No, that's not it. You hope that's not a hill giant. Reaching the
Gulp.
center, if you could call center hut, if you could call something 30 feet tall a hut, a flat is opened to reveal a floor made entirely of skulls. Upon a ragged wooden throne sits Grom, wearing only a simple loincloth and deerskin boots. Or at least, they started out as deerskin boots before they stitched 3 or 4 together to fit his feet. Now they're more like deerskin monstrosities. He
How bad does it
stands
smell?
deliberately and slowly, and only 9 feet in height. Surprisingly short, but you can feel his immeasurable presence filling the entire room as his 4 eyes examine you. "We knew you were coming," smiles the head with fancifully braided blonde hair. "Shh! Who would interrupt our quiet? Shouts the bald head, fire in his eyes. "We want to hear them speak. Elaborate. Tell us why we should not devour you." No, less talk, more eat. Hungry. You loud. Music everywhere. Quiet! Patience. We always have patience. Speak your... And Grom turns to face you. Or his left head turns back to face you. "Speak your case. Post haste." And Grom waits.
Grawl, we have heard about your greatness from many people in Parnas, and
Grawl.
they wish.
Grolm.
Is it Grawl or Grawl? Grom? Oh, okay, got you.
Grolm. Say
Grom.
it with me. Gra.
No, I got you. I wrote it down as Grawl though, because that's what it sounded like earlier. Grammar. Gotcha. So, Grawl, people of Parnas wish to parley with you. They know that you're very powerful and you've amassed quite a force. They wish to make a deal. And I will hand over the terms of agreement that Ragnar gave us.
And Grom
These
practically
are what
snatches
they-
them out of your hand. And in about 5 seconds seems to have flipped through them and tosses them onto his seat.
I
Interesting
am
deal.
sure a great leader such as yourself can see how an agreement like that would benefit both parties.
You may be strong enough to be worthy allies of Grom. Yes, maybe you can enter my service. And with that, his quote-unquote good head winks at you guys. But we need a test. We need a challenge. A feast! And he bellows. Prove yourself worthy by engaging in giant feats of strength. Are you willing?
Yes. We are willing and up to the task of any challenge you can throw at us.
Yes,
A
we're willing.
challenge and a party sounds fabulous.
I'm definitely interested in the party. I'm unsure how much I can live.
Good. Night falls. Grendel, wake up! And he reaches out, picks up his stick, and stabs at something in one of the corners of the tent, or hut. And up stands an ogre, 13 feet tall. "Why you wake Grendel? Grendel have good sleep thing. Vision thing. Dream. That's it. Grendel had good dream. Time for challenge. Drink!" And Grom pulls out a giant wineskin and some mugs and pours everyone a drink.
This is
It's against
possibly the
Caden's
best
tenor.
news I've had all day.
So I need everyone who is going to partake of the drink to give me a con roll.
Skill check or saving throw?
Con save.
Ithiaka
Alrighty.
is just going to be nervously jittering in the corner.
Okay, the ogre smacks his lips and you notice he's a little wobbly.
User disconnected from your channel.
Somebody has
This is not-
to grab.
So, the giant, suddenly a bunch of ogres bring in what amounts to a herd of boars.
User joined your channel.
And Gringle gleefully goes, ooh, toy time! And lays down flat on the floor and holds his hands up into the air as one of the other ogres puts a boar into his hands. And he immediately starts pushing up with the boar. And then coming back down. And then back up. And then back down.
He's bench pressing the boar.
Yes.
Live boar or
And then he drops the boar onto his head and takes some damage. Ow. And Garl just looks at you and goes, your turn.
So we have to
Okay,
lift it.
Who has best athletics?
This is, in fact, a party-wide competition.
Is it an athletics or a strength?
This is athletics.
I'm gonna bless cast Silmar myself. So when we go to do these benches,
Bless does not affect ability checks.
I don't affect saving throws. It would have been good on the con save we just did.
I got you. Never mind. Rat. Apologize.
And before you actually do that, give me an insight check.
Oh.
You realize that this is supposed to be a test of your abilities. To deliberately use magic to change the results would be insulting.
User joined
Oh,
your
I didn't know
channel.
that. No.
Well, it's a good job we got a natural 20 then.
So I need to know who did the So Caden manages to drop a boar on his face, but still does better than the giant did, and takes 5 damage.
Cass got a net 22.
So Baron also drops a boar on his face and takes 6 damage. Sliznar is able to successfully deadlift the boar enough to satisfy the watching giants. Poor
And I hurl
Randall
it
takes
to the
5
floor.
damage.
After I lift the boar over my head, I hurl it to the floor. You know, like the deadlifters when they drop that big bar. I just bam.
Drinks! 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 Grom serves another round of drinks. This one is a smooth, dark ale with hints of orange. Everyone who partakes, give me a con save.
2 hours.
Yeah, can you remove the bless off of us?
Dwarves and Orcish heritage will give you advantage.
Yeah, bless is still on, everybody.
How do I do advantage for that then? Just right click?
There's an advantage icon in the bottom left corner of your screen, ADV. Click on that before you roll.
Ah, thank you.
Now, I'm immune to poison, so how would that work for that?
This isn't poison, apparently.
Your liver might disagree.
I mean, it's like if dwarves get the bonus to the check or whatever, that's like the advantage to the save for poison. Is the reason they get that. But I'm flat out immune to it.
I mean, we're also social drinkers.
Except Caden.
User left your channel.
So you guys all
While drinking the beer, before drinking the beer, I lift the mug towards Galm. To our gracious host's health.
So the next challenge, you guys are led to a brick wall. Grindel laughs, runs up, and gives it a nice big kick with his bare foot. And smashes a section of the wall down.
Okay.
Grindel is the champion, my friends! Ho ho ho!
Quite so. Quite so.
So would anyone care to attempt the challenge themselves?
Is this another athletics or strength or whatever?
This is another strength athletics check.
That's just like break boards. Isn't that part of your training?
Pretty much. Brick walls, not so much.
As Caden jams his foot up against there and stubs my toe.
That's okay, Sliznar just covered you.
I pretty much bounce off the wall and then turn it into the bounce back. I turn into a somersault.
Ooh.
At least look cool.
No. Oh, you acrobat. Okay, I see. You try the athletics and then you acrobatics out of it.
Yes. Just to make it look cool.
Grinder! Grom calls out, and you're all handed a small glass of cream liquor mixed with some type of sour juice. Everyone who consumes, give me another con save.
Interesting.
Those of you who failed the last con save have disadvantage.
So I assume I failed
what
the
was
last
the
save?
DC of the last one?
10.
Okay, I made it.
Yeah, I didn't. So does that just cancel out then with my advantage?
And I use my inspiration to try again.
Strictly speaking, you have to use the inspiration before the roll, not after.
After the roll, but before I know the result is what the rules say.
I'll double check that sometime.
Officially, I think it's advantage, not a reroll, so you do have to declare it before the check. That's the way I've always seen it played anyway.
Yeah, it's advantage, so you have to do it before you roll.
On the other hand, my lucky skill, I will use.
So, Cass passes,
Which is a
Sliss
reroll.
fails, Raynar passes, Randall rerolled to a success, Baron failed,
Pardon me, what?
Raynar, I believe you said you were rerolling?
Yes, I am. Because I passed up above, but I'd rolled that before you said I had disadvantage, so the 6 is the one that actually went through. So I will re-roll that with advantage again.
Well, actually, with lucky, what happens is you get to... So, pause. You roll... Yep. We're going to say you rolled a 3 and a 4. Roll one more time. Don't bother with disadvantage, just roll.
Okay.
Because lucky has something interesting. When you roll at disadvantage with lucky, you get to choose from 3 dice.
Really?
Lucky is not a reroll. It's roll again and take your choice of the die.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So that 17, by the way, is a pass.
Cool. Yes, I just got lucky after my last session. It's the first session I've actually used it in, so I missed that nuance. That's cool. Thank you.
And at this point, you guys noticed that the boars that were brought in earlier are getting sliced and diced, and they're making boar dogs. They're making sausage out of the boars and cooking them and smoking them. And you guys have, and this is at this point, by the way, I should mention this is just an entire festival. Goblins are singing, hobgoblins are wandering around half drunk, and they make an entire mountain out of these boars, out of these boar dogs, and they just grin and say, "Eating contest."
Aiden can do that.
So for this eating contest, each person is going to need to do things in succession, because if we just try and do this all at once, I'm not going to be able to keep track of things. So who is going to participate in the eating contest?
Good.
Cass.
I am.
Bushnar will.
So who is going to be the first one?
Cass will go.
I'll go.
Actually, you know what?
first.
I'll just go ahead and do this. All of you are going to need to roll, and then and then I'm going to tell you some things. So as you guys start eating, give me a con save.
Ready at once?
So the DC for this check is an 8. If you got an 8 or better, you get to eat 2d4 boar dogs. If you failed, you get a 1d4. And we don't have any nat 1s, so don't worry about that.
So we should each roll 2d4 and count how many we've eaten?
Those who oh, you all passed. Duh.
Yes.
Yep, so count up how many you've eaten. Oh, and halflings would have advantage on the saving throw.
Because it bends.
Now, just because they can put it away is no reason to insult them. So everyone keep a running total of your own boar dogs, and give me another saving throw. Oh, Grindel, your opponent, is absolutely stuffed and unable to participate. Brr. The DC this time is 10.
So same as before, 1d4 if
I
you fail.
can't seem to get my D4s to roll.
You have to drag and drop them into the chat box.
Ah, that makes sense.
Or if you right click on it first, you can select roll 2, yeah, and then drop it in.
That's okay. So another con save now.
And then another 2d4.
And if I'm not mistaken, 1d4 if we fail, right?
What was the DC, sorry?
The 10.
So does everyone have their totals?
Yep.
Yep.
Round 3. The DC this time
Oh, I failed it.
is a 12.
I failed.
Only 1d4.
Since you implied that something bad happens on a natural 1, anything good happen on a natural 20?
Yes, you get a 3d4.
Oh.
Look at Randall just packing them away.
Apparently.
So let's total up your eatings.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was sick a lot, so I never got to eat real food, and I'm making up for that now that I'm more or less healthy and out living the great adventurer's life.
So poor Grindel, well, he did not show up very well compared to you guys. He is in last place. Caden is in third place. Cass is at second. And the champion, the #1 eater of boar dogs in all of Grom's encampment is Randall Greycastle.
And I jump up and I take my massive head with the feather and I bow deeply and sweep it out, you know, musketeer style.
And a hobgoblin woman jumps up onto the table and tries to give you a great big smooch.
Let it happen.
And you realize she's trying to drag you out into the crowd towards an empty hut.
I try to extricate myself. I'm terribly sorry, my dear, but I still have business to finish up with Gralm.
She looks disappointed, but lets you.
There will be time for.
She looks disappointed, but lets you go walk away. So Grolm brings out another round of drinks. A substance that is violently frothing. So who partakes? Give me a
This
con
looks
save.
interesting. I'm in.
Did I fail the last one?
If you failed the last one at a DC 12, you have disadvantage on Dex ability checks until you finish a long rest.
Yeah, might as well.
No more acrobatics for me.
On Dex ability checks?
Yes.
So do I have advantage at all, or I'm assuming just baseline?
Why? Sorry. Why would you have advantage or disadvantage?
Oh, for drinking. Sorry. I'll just roll normally then.
So this one is a DC 13.
Cass fails.
At 20. Oops, I saved dexterity though instead. Damn it.
And I fail.
It just changed the modifier. It's still in that 20.
It's the same modifier anyway. I just clicked the wrong thing.
So anyone who failed on this save, give me a DC 11 charisma save.
Fail.
The two of you are now absolutely terrified of alcohol.
Oh, that's...
You have a severe phobia of alcohol until you complete a long rest. You've gone just a tad bit mad.
I do not need to drink anymore.
So, does anyone here have a giant challenge story reward from 5-3?
Yes.
Yes.
You just succeeded.
Sorry, what was that?
If you have a giant challenge story award from 5-3, since you guys got through this without any tricks or magic, you have now succeeded. If you participated in the contest.
Yeah, I've already passed this with this character actually.
Nice.
Anyways, Grindel just walks around pouting, and then pours a great big tankard and walks towards Randall, tankard held high. Because Randall was the winner, right?
He was the winner of the eating contest.
So he just walks over to you, tankard held high, and say, "Grindel not mad," and then dumps it on your head.
I suppose
Who's now absolutely terrified of alcohol.
So, how many of you participated in every round of the
drop
contest?
and roll, get it off, get it off.
I skipped on eating.
I skipped on the...
Kicked.
bench press.
I
did
did
everything
it.
else.
I did every challenge.
I succeeded on 2 of 3.
You do not need to succeed. I need to know if you participated in all
Oh,
of the
I
ranks.
participated in everything.
So Grom comes wandering over. I want to sleep. Just make the music stop. Now. Be quiet. We're doing business. Good
What
job,
music?
adventurers.
What music would you like me to stop? I mean, I can talk to the goblin musicians.
Not goblins. Fae. They keep playing their music. I'm getting cranky.
I'm not sure we could ask them to stop, but I think it's worth a try.
You'll try?
Yeah, I met some of the local Fae a while ago. Maybe I can try talking to them.
Thank you. Yes, I think this might be a nice idea. Yes. So, whoever's representing the party, give me a persuasion check at advantage, and add a 9-point modifier on top of your roll.
You guys want the Caden to do it?
Sure.
Yeah.
You know how to.
I think
you know how to
and
do
I,
your
you and I are
modifier?
the same for persuasion, so either of us could, yeah.
Go throw it out. +9.
So +9 is
plus-
33.
Congratulations, it was only a DC 15.
One! Yay!
Go to sleep. Alright, so we'll investigate the Fey noise that you're talking about.
The eyes of the
Ooh.
blonde Grom tighten as the bald one widens. We appreciate the proposition you have brought us. Eat fairies. I hunger. Yes. This arrangement shall be amicable. We know that bad fool's power wanes as ours waxes. The time to strike is now. We shall challenge and defeat him. If you bring us the heads of some of the forest creatures who have been plaguing us. Sleep. Quiet. I tired. I always tired. Be quiet now.
We will see what we can do about these Fey creatures.
Does it have to be the heads? I mean,
Yeah,
the
I'm not a
goal
big
is
fan of that
to-
idea.
to
Works
get a
for
good
me.
night's sleep? I mean, if we talk to them and they
Heads.
stop annoying you?
I want their heads. I want their heads here, and I want the rest of their bodies someplace else. I want those nuisance, annoyance Fae dead. D-E-D, dead.
We'll see what we can do.
Yep, works for me. Just need the axe back.
So
I
you
didn't
guys
like him
continue
that
on
much.
into the forest. You have been tasked with bringing back the heads of some of the fairy creatures who have been gradually moving more and more of their population onto Grom's territory. Eventually, you find a small pond, surrounded by an open area and a thicket of trees. Drinking from the pond is a satyr, who is also drinking from a hip flask. A giant eagle with majestic brown and golden wings and an ornamental leaf necklace sits next to him, its head constantly looking towards the sky. This creature does not appear to be the type to cause the mischief that has been plaguing Grom. But in the Fey world, looks can be deceptive.
You said it's a satyr?
A satyr, yes. Satyr.
Is this
it
the one from
Blarios?
03?
Why, yes, you recognize him from 03. This is Blasios, your old friend.
Blasios, my old friend. Funny meeting you here.
Oh, hey! Want drink? And he raises up
You
a
know me
mug.
too well, my friend.
He raises up a mug of fairy spirits.
Oh wait, I still have a phobia.
Yeah, I don't think
Blasius, you
we're
know
all gonna
me.
need to be
Usually
drinking
I
right
wouldn't
now.
turn down a drink, but at the moment I find myself slightly indisposed. So I have to decline your kind offer. And I bow and do the thing with my head so as to not give offense.
Been kind of a long day, apparently.
Hello? Say again?
Oh, just kind of bemusing the Baron, sorry.
Yeah, your volume is so low I can barely hear you.
Did we ever get our weapons back?
Oh, yes. So, what are you doing here?
Cass will frankly explain all that has occurred to Blasius.
Oh, Unsilly Fae. There's Unsilly Fae here. Big troublemakers. Probably the ones that you want to go deal with.
Oh well,
But they're not associated
Oh, I've
with
never
you.
heard of Unseelie Fae before. Can you tell us more about them?
Well, the Seelie Fae are the good Fae, the Unseelie Fae are the bad Fae. The Seelie Fae like to frolic and dance and mingle with each other. Join at the hip, you might say. And he wags his hips and causes certain portions of anatomy to flop around, suggestively. The Unseelie
Yeah,
Fae are
sorry.
the mean ones. They just drag you out down to a brook and drown you.
So
That's not pleasant.
Prince Thornatius will not take offense if we dispatch these Unseelie. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, no, no, no.
Okay, excellent, excellent.
He hates the Unseelie.
Oh, good.
Seelie Fae hate Unseelie. Unseelie Fae hate Seelie.
Well, now I no longer have the same objections to bringing back body parts.
agreed.
Yeah. Caden wasn't too comfortable with that either. I wanted to check it out first.
Yeah, those Unseelie Fae are just big meanies, always talking about treaties and ownership, and they never have time to have a drink.
I think we might be having a confusion here.
So I don't know enough about how D&D defines the difference between Unseelie and Seelie, but typically the difference is a lot more than just good versus evil.
Yes.
The Seelie Fae are not all sweetness and light.
No, they're not.
Yeah, basically neither side is good, neither side is bad. They basically exist in a perpetual balance and they will do anything to get one over on the other side. Both are very contract oriented, very deal oriented.
Honestly, the best way I've ever heard it explained is actually from a different fiction source. It's called the Dresden Files, where the Seelie
Yeah, I
Fae
had a
are
feeling.
summer and the Unseelie are winter. And yes, the Seelie tend to be more cruel, but the Unseelie tend to be more cruel. But as someone puts it at one point, sure, letting the Seelie have their way would be great. All sorts of green and growing things, all sorts of life. Great time to be a virus, like a bubonic plague.
That's pretty good.
And as he also puts it at another time, winter may be cold, but it's not always bitter or cruel.
Which, in this instance,
Yeah,
draws
or
the
the
problem.
winter court is all cold logic, and the summer court is all intuition and heart. And in isolation, neither is really a good idea.
Both of them are just as deadly as the other.
I would assume the Seelie are the type to party hardy, though.
Oh, yes. They'll party so hardy that your heart explodes in your chest. And then dance from your corpse.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Well, there are worse ways to go.
So either have to be a murder of killjoys, in which case it's somewhat justified, or a murder of a bunch of really intoxicated jerks. So that could be fun.
I mean, let's just take the satyr for example. Satyrs are renowned for let's just say I wouldn't want to be a female anywhere near them.
Oh yeah, they're rapists. It's pretty awful.
I mean, this guy is all sweetness and light, and he's offering you drinks, but I would not get alone with him if I were any of you.
Keep Ithaca away from him.
Ithaca, never alone.
I wouldn't want to be
Ithaca
alone with
also
Ithaca
has
either,
vision.
for that matter.
So you guys have a choice. Which group are you going to choose to fight?
Cass is kind of already predisposed to liking the Sealy.
Yes, we have a working relationship with them.
But they
Yeah.
are the ones who are
Yeah, I'm
making
friends
the
with
noise.
Prince Donatius. I'm happy to
As
go
is
take out the
Cass.
Unseelie.
The Unseelie seem like the obvious target.
You say obvious, but only if he's dumb enough to distinguish the two.
I'm fine with going after the Unseelie. I have no problem with it.
So the party charges off after the Unseelie. Blasios takes you to a clearing where you can see a group of dryads and seedy halfling men and women playing cards, with a large pile of coin in the center. A broken harp lies in pieces next to one of the dryads. Occasionally, a heated word escapes from one of them as their eyes search the table, their opponents, and their surroundings in paranoia. The card game has all of them on edge. Randomly scattered in the clearing are large stuffed animals, lions, tigers, and bears that are rotting with age.
Oh my.
Yuck.
So I'm very big on finishing by the time I say I would finish. And basically you guys are fresh, having spent all of one spell slot to get here. This just is not going to be a challenge for you.
Oh, hopefully.
I'm okay with that.
And it's the last fight in the mod.
Okay.
So you win. You guys jump
Hooray!
in, you slaughterize the Unseelie. Blasios gifts you with a ring of jumping. The giant eagle gifts you with its ornamental leaf necklace. Oh, and the pile of coins the troop was haggling over is worth 80 gold pieces. Congratulations.
And not only will I happily, almost gleefully behead them, I will bring their bodies back to the encampment and do it in front of them.
Now,
One of
he
Grom's heads-
specifically said he didn't want the bodies.
Kane will abstain from this grotesque task.
Well, his intent at the time was pretty clear to make it very clear he wanted them dead, not just in front of him. So
Well, I just want to be careful because he made the impression of being the kind of guy who can be a bit of a stickler.
Okay, I'll just bring back the heads.
Just don't forget to loot them for anything possibly interesting.
And as you guys turn to
Even
walk
boots.
away, you notice a trio of goblins dart out of the trees and grab the bodies. And start dragging
Wow.
them off towards the camp.
I don't want to think about what that signifies.
I think that's
Probably
another
tomorrow's
feast.
lunch.
What
Yeah.
were in the sausages you ate?
Oh, that was
Good
boiled.
thing
We saw them doing
saw
that.
them making the sausages.
Yes.
See, I was
Otherwise,
gonna
I
bring
would be
them back
feeling
the
rather ill
bodies.
now.
I was gonna bring them back the bodies as a gift.
Well, somebody else is going to bring back the bodies anyway, so it saves us dragging them.
So you guys get back to Grom, and one of Grom's heads cocks slightly to the side, and a few stray blonde braids fall in his eyes. You have kept your end of the bargain, small ones. As you entreated, we, Grom, shall challenge the foolish bad fool. Grom writes his name with the utmost precision and a flourish upon the contract and tosses it at your feet. Eat! Eat! I hunger! The bodies! No! Silence! We shall have silence! And finally sleep. Later, tonight. But first, in remembrance of your show of power, little creatures, we shall feast! Join us once again before you strike out back off to your homelands.
I just finished a feast of sausages. I'm not sure I could eat another bite.
We will feast.
Yes, of course, we will feast.
Good, good. Go take the time to rest up before the feast. It will take a few hours to prepare the foods. And, I know how, squeamish you little folk can be. Don't worry. I will be sure to keep the, foods segregated for your gustatory pleasure. Boar sausages for you, fey sausages for me.
I mean, I'm really more snake than anything. I'm good. I'm okay with it.
So, you have done the best you can, but will Grom be able to defeat Bad Fool? Only time will tell. So, none of you had glory before goodwill?
Nope.
So, those of you who do not have Defenders of Parnast gain the Defenders of Parnast Story Award. Oh, wait a minute.
Yes, those who do not have it gain that one. Those who already have it get an upgraded version of it.
Yep, get an upgrade to Greater Defenders of Parnast.
Ooh.
Hey, I'm cool with just Defenders of Parnast.
Always a neat.
Is there any way you can drag and drop those into the chat, or no?
Not really. I don't have a mod for this particular mission.
Okay.
Does anybody have
There's,
the text to copy
free
paste?
there's free story award cards on DM's Guild you can download.
There were? I must have missed those. Unfortunately, I don't have them at this time.
Does anybody
And
else
then
have
the
the
count-
text handy?
Yeah, just download
can't-
them yourself.
I actually have the mod, so I can, or not the mod, the PDF, so I can get it from there. It's just easier to put it on the character sheet if in Fantasy Grounds if it was able to be dragged and dropped into text. That's all right.
Neat.
And for anyone who isn't aware, I will take this time to advertise the Alcon of the Storm taking place April 1st weekend. You can sign up for it through alonlinetools.net. I'm one of the convention organizers. So,
Unfortunately, I think I've kind of got bookworm that weekend.
well, that's fine. I've actually run across some people who haven't heard of it yet. You go there to AL Online Tools, and instead of choosing play to choose online games, you go to play and you go to conventions, and you can find it there. We're running the second epic of the season 5, along with a couple of premieres for the tier 3 and tier 4 mods before they're released. And I think we have some unreleased CCC content as well, if I recall correctly.
That's odd. This mission doesn't award downtime.
No, 'cause it's only a 2-hour mission.
It should still give you 5. Oh, there it is. It was just hidden under the story awards.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
That gave me a level.
And no renown, correct?
1 renown.
1 renown. Oh, actually get 1 for a 2-hour mod. Okay.
You always get 1. Unless you finish the secret special mission, which the Zentrum could have done if you hadn't killed Oblivilish.
I think there's actually some 2-hour mods that don't give the 1 renown.
They always give the 1 renown.
I think the only ones that don't are like /1 mods, like
Correct.
the 5 1-hour stuff.
So you guys do earn the Satyr Training Award as well.
Since you put it in the chat, do we get the Satyr training?
Yes.
What is it?
Basically, if you spend
Satyr.
5 downtimes, the next time you fail a saving throw against poison, or if you spend 5 downtime once, if you fail a saving throw against poison, you may just choose to succeed it instead, at which point you'd cross the story award off. It's been used.
Cool.
Oh. Don't need that one.
I guess not. don't have to make saving throws against poison, so you're never going to fail them.
So, who wants the Ring of Jumping?
I'm good.
Does the 2 level 1 characters, I assume neither of you has a magic item yet?
I
Get
do
first
not
dibs.
know. And I'll pass on it for now, thanks. Don't exactly need a jumping warlock.
Honestly, once you get another level or 2 under your belt, you can just do what that ring gives you anyways by picking up the invocation.
Yep.
So
I thought I wanted it to give
Well,
my barbarian, but can't attune to it. He's full up on attunement items.
So it's sitting on the table. Do I hear any cult bids for it at all?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Tiawaz. Going to Tiawaz once. Going twice. Sold to Randall. The Grey Castle. I believe you guys already divvied up the potions.
Which is
Believe so. Never
I
used
took the
them either.
greater, but I don't know who took the regular.
Yeah, one of the regulars was given to a new player. I don't know if anybody took the other. Well, I guess they did because it's not in the party sheet. So.
I never put it in the party sheet.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I only got a potion for just first time doing AL.
Well, there's a potion of healing up for somebody then.
You know what? If you don't mind, Caden, just grab it.
Go ahead, yeah.
Oh, I don't. Now, level 5, the hard way.
The hard way.
Yep.
This is my first Adventure League 5 as well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for running, Ron.
You're welcome
Yeah,
all.
it's
I
fun.
hope you all had a good time.
I've been waiting for this module to come up with spaces for so long, and when I first joined, I was like 3rd reserve, and I kept checking, and then I was 2nd reserve, and then I was 1st reserve, and then I was in, and I was so happy. Thank you very much.
Even if you're in the reserve, do show up. You would be surprised how often people just don't bother to show.
Yeah, I was number 9 on the sign up.
I mean, there have been days when, I have 20 people signed up, and I don't get 3 players.
Wow.
okay then.
Well, the other day for one of Aaron's games, we had, I think, 11 players that were signed up, and only 3 showed up for that dude.
That's amazing.
So,
People don't
I
get
hope
the
everyone
time
had a
zones
good
right and back
time.
out.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes,
I
that's
did,
very
thank
much.
you.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much.
running this.
So, question, time-wise, do you guys have, who here would have time for a second adventure?
Tonight, right now, I don't. Sorry.
Depends
I would.
what adventure.
Bad Business in Parnast?
I would love to,
That's
but
a-
unfortunately I've got stuff to do.
That's a 2-hour one. I couldn't run it with Cass, but I could run it with another character.
I'm afraid I don't have time.
Yeah, I'll back out. Anyway, thanks, guys.
Yep, have a good time.
So, it sounds
See
like
ya.
I might only have 1 player, so I won't even bother.
User disconnected from your channel.
Good luck with that, guys, and thanks again.
I'm still fighting with myself. I really shouldn't because it's
User
3 a.m.
disconnected from your channel.
So, I'm just seeing 1, you'd make 2. At this point, I'm just going to go ahead and call it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
if you
that
run
makes
it
the choice
some other
easy.
evening, I will definitely be in if I can make it fit my schedule. Thanks very much for that, though. That was great.
Yeah, it's the 1 left that I need to do for Tier 1.
Yeah, and it's
We're-
one of the few tier 1s I still need to play with this character, so like I said, I would, if I could, I would be there.
So,
we
I will-
are actually going to run it as a multi-table adventure because it's designed to be done that way.
I think you're thinking of Siege of Parnast, not Bad Business.
Okay, Siege. Yes, Siege of Parnass.
And I don't think Siege is out yet, is it?
No, but we'll have access to it.
Yeah, I have access to it. I'm just not going to run it again before the public date.
Right. But we're running it as a multi-table to test out our comm system for the Epic.
Awesome.
Very cool.
So thank you all. I hope you've had fun. At this point, I will leave the server open probably for another 20-30 minutes. No promises. I'm going to close chat, do some bookkeeping, go and grab a snack or something. And what's probably going to happen is I'm going to come back, close the server, and then realize I forgot to give you guys fair warning.
Well, I just need to drop a level of fighter on my character, and I'll
history says I always just close Fantasy Grounds and they go, oh shoot!
I think I'm good. I just saved, so I'm done. Thanks. Talk to you guys later.
Talk to everyone later.
See you later.
User disconnected from your channel. Disconnected.